Good afternoon and welcome to Lakeland High School's 2023 commencement ceremony. At this time, please give a hearty welcome to the class of 2023 as we begin and they proceed into the field house while members of the Lakeland High School Band, under the direction of Mr. Robert Green, play Elgar Grunman's Fanfare and Pomp and Circumstance. Welcome, Lakeland class of 2023. We are so proud of you. I am now happy to, please remain standing. I am now happy to introduce the Veterans Color Guard representing the Huron Valley American Veterans Post 2006 of Milford. Please rise for the presentation of colors. Carrying the national colors, Joe Salvia, Sergeant First Class, former Michigan Army National Guard. Carrying the state of Michigan colors, Larry Bagan, former United States Marine Corps. Carrying the U.S. Army branch colors, Gerald Mantella, former Specialist 4, former U.S. Army Reserve. Carrying the U.S. Marine Corps branch colors, James Allen, Major, retired U.S. Marine Corps. Carrying the U.S. Navy branch colors, Dana Besson, Petty Officer 2nd Class, former United States Navy. Carrying the U.S. Air Force branch colors, Philip Besson, Master Sergeant, active duty, U.S. Air Force. Carrying the U.S. Space Force colors, Larry Shaver, Airman 2nd Class, former U.S. Air Force. Carrying the U.S. Coast Guard branch colors, Lloyd Davis, Petty Officer, 2nd Class, former United States Navy. Carrying the POW colors, David Moore, Specialist 5, former U.S. Army. Carrying the AMVETS colors, Mike Willingantz, Specialist 4, former U.S. Army. Please stay standing for the playing of the national anthem by the Lakeland High School Band under the direction of Mr. Robert Green. Thank you, Mr. Green and the Lakeland Band. At this time, please stay standing as our senior class officers and academic leaders come to the podium to lead us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. We have President Everett Ross, Vice President Kyle Kraus, Secretary Lauren Herring, and Treasurer, who is also a co-valedictorian, Caitlin Giannopoulos, co-valedictorian Mahana Gallmiter, and salutatorian Lucille Martin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. At this time, I would also like to take a moment to recognize all class of 2023 graduates who will be entering the armed forces upon graduation, as well as those in the audience who are either currently serving in the military or who are veterans of military service. At this time, please rise and be recognized. A special thank you for all of your selfless service to our country and for protecting our freedom and values from all threats, whether domestic or abroad. Now, please rise and help me thank our color guard for participating in our program today as they exit the stage. Please rise. Please be seated. It is with great honor that I come before you this afternoon at Lakeland High School's 48th commencement ceremony to celebrate this class, the class of 2023. This special day is a culmination of 13 years of hard work for these students. It is also a major milestone in our graduates' lives and a source of great pride for all of us in the Lakeland community. Please welcome the following members of the Huron Valley Schools Board of Education. Tom Weisman, President. Laura Dodd, Vice President. Denise Pastana, Secretary. Lindsay Cotter, Treasurer. Jacob Dimmick, Trustee. Amy Grisomkowski, Trustee. Thank you for your support. Next, I would like to introduce the school district officials who share in our students' success and work on their behalf. Dr. Paul Salah, Superintendent of Schools. John Tavernier, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching, Learning, and Technology. Martin Lindberg, Director of Curriculum Development. Jennifer Bjorkman, Director of State and Federal Programs. Terry Thompson, Director of Student Services. Michelle Chakowski, Principal, White Lake Middle. Steve Chiswick, Principal, Kurtz Elementary. Justine Greenleaf, Principal, Oxbow Elementary. Sean Durso, Principal, Oak Valley Middle. Gary Hamilton, Principal, Country Oaks Elementary. Sarah Bentley, Principal, Spring Mills Elementary. I would also like to recognize Lakeland High School administrative team members, Libby Held, Assistant Principal, and Nathan Wanglin, Assistant Principal. And a special mention to Detective Michael Race, School Resource Officer. The class of 2023 was also supported by senior class teacher sponsors Amanda Beckett and Lindsay Rubin. As well as parent sponsors, Jennifer Calhoun, Misty Lindquist, and Rebecca Mladenoff. I'd also like to recognize our name announcers for this commencement program: Isaac Perry, Lakeland teacher, and Scott Rolando, Lakeland teacher and student activities director. Finally, I would like to recognize Timmy Johnson, building coordinator, for all of her time in organizing this event. Thank you. On behalf of the members of the class of 2023, I offer all of you sincere thanks for your support and a great respect for all you do to inspire and build futures one student at a time. And finally, I would be very remiss if I didn't recognize some other very important people here today, and that would be all of you, the loved ones of the class of 2023. Parents, guardians, grandparents, siblings, and other family and friends. It is without these important people and without their love, guidance, and support in your lives, this day would not be possible without them. So graduates, if you could just rise and applaud your families, please. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce and recognize the class officers representing the 2023 graduating class. Class Treasurer, Caitlin Giannopoulos. Yeah. Class Secretary, Lauren Herring. Class Vice President, Kyle Kraus. And also Class President, Everett Ross. We also have on this stage, we have our two valedictorians for this year, and I would like to introduce them. First, Mahana Trinity Gallmeyer. And our second valedictorian, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. I made mention of it a little bit before, Caitlin Emma Giannopoulos. She's doing a little bit of double duty up here today. And then we have class salutatorian, Lucille Amelia Martin. At this time, I am pleased to welcome to the podium the first speaker and class of 2023 Vice President, Kyle Kraus. Kyle's going to deliver the welcome address. In addition to serving as Vice President of the class of 2023, Kyle has served as President of the Joy Club, Secretary of DSU, and President of the Link Crew. His academic honors include graduating summa cum laude, being an AP Scholar with Distinction, and receiving the Math Department Key Award. Kyle will be attending the University of Michigan in the fall, where he plans to major in computer science and mathematics. He is the son of Stephanie and Bob Kraus of White Lake. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Kyle Kraus.
Before I begin, I would like to give a huge thanks to my family, all of my friends, and everyone else who helped me get here along the way. Thank you so much. I remember the first time I realized that we were all graduating. It was back in elementary school when we all got assigned our school emails. My email was 23KrausK, and I remember the whole class being confused on just why the number 23 was included in all of our emails. Turns out the 23 means we graduate this year, 2023. Before then, I hadn't met many of my closest friends, and I obviously had no idea what to do with my future. But I kept thinking to myself, what does the future have in store for me? Regardless of what I convinced myself was going to happen then, time to move forward, as it always does. And now I stand here before you today. I'd have to bet that many of you are asking yourself that same question right now, as I am myself, pondering the endless possibilities of what job you might work in the future, what career you might pursue, or simply wondering what you're going to eat for dinner tonight. It's strange how the choices we made, sometimes unconsciously, have shaped the paths that we walk upon today so confidently. We have traveled through time together, all of us, growing from classmates to friends, and from friends into family. Our lives are intertwined through common memories, shared laughter, and tears. We've shaped one another's experiences, hopes, and dreams in ways we might not even realize for years to come. It's hard to fathom that we have arrived at the cusp of something so transformative, something that seemed so far away when we first received our district email addresses. On another note, though, there's so much more of our lives to go. There's no sense in relishing the past when the future comes to us every second. We are an unfinished symphony, at the beginning of composition with a full score ahead of us. The notes we've played so far are just the prelude, with the cadence of our lives as music waiting to be discovered, waiting to be written. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel like we're standing at the edge of a cliff, peering into the unknown. But remember, the trials we've endured and the victories we've celebrated here have prepared us to face the world with courage and conviction rather than trepidation and fear. So, as we leave the comfort of our classroom and step into the wide expanse of possibilities in the future, we should carry with us the lessons we've learned, not just the lessons from textbooks, but the lessons from one another. Let us carry with us the unwavering spirit of curious adventure, the same spirit that made us wonder what the 23 meant in our emails. Your future is not something that just happens to you. It's something that you create with every step you take, every decision you make. Remember, just as we asked, what does the future have in store for me in elementary school? Continue to wonder and dream. Just as it was back then, the curiosities we have today are a compass guiding us towards our futures. They are the driving force behind our actions and the source from which our creativity, innovation, and empathy flow. We are standing at the precipice of our futures with a burning enthusiasm to leap forward. So let's leap. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle, for those opening words. At this time, it is my pleasure to bring to the podium Dr. Paul Salah, Superintendent of Huron Valley Schools, for the Superintendent's Address.
Good afternoon. Let me start by going a little bit off script here for just a moment. I wanted to start off by congratulating Dr. Knutson on a successful career in public education. She's truly an accomplished educator, and for those of you who do not know, she is retiring on June 30th. Let's give Dr. Knutson a round of applause. Thank you. Parents, grandparents, loved ones, extended family, and friends, congratulations to the Lakeland High School graduating class of 2023. Each time I deliver a commencement speech, I aim to capture the essence of the moment with which we are living. Over the past several years, we have reflected upon the global pandemic a lot, and now we embark upon a new chapter. Students, while you may believe that my job description is one sentence, namely reading something like this, job description, superintendent, review weather forecasts and road conditions in order to maximize the number of snow days that students may enjoy on an annual basis. Does that sound about right? Yeah. Well, I can assure you that contrary to what some of you may believe, I promise I do more than call snow days. And I hope this speech leaves you with a few points of wisdom that you might consider as you leave high school and enter this new chapter of your lives. Parents and guardians, your children may not fully grasp the sacrifices that you have made to support them throughout their high school years. And as a father of three, I want to express my gratitude and my gratitude for your efforts, dedication, resilience, partnership, and unwavering guidance and love. Graduates, please take a moment and applaud the loved ones who have accompanied you on your journey. The class of 2023 was faced with a global pandemic that challenged the way we think about the world around us. Some of these changes were positive, while others presented plenty of opportunities to improve. While we have adopted and gained new skills, there remains a gap in society that needs to be bridged. While a great deal has transpired, what remains clear is that people need one another to talk, to laugh, to cry, to hug, to grow. Bottom line is people need people. Reflecting upon the past, I recall a time when we played outside all day and came home when the streetlights turned on. We had rotary phones, and there was no such thing as Wi-Fi. I remember when I couldn't download a book to an iPad, and instead I actually had to go to the library. I even recall growing up without air conditioning. I know, where's the collective gasp in the room? On really hot days, my family would sleep in the basement, and it was totally fine. The musty smell and all. Okay, I don't actually miss not having air conditioning. It's like seriously the best invention ever. My kids often tease me when I share stories like this. They say things like, yeah, Dad, we know when you were a kid, you walked 45 miles to school every day in a foot of snow, and then you had to go to the grocery store to pick up fresh food because refrigerators weren't actually invented at that point. I know, right? It's funny. We chuckle, but amidst the laughter, I hope we don't lose something valuable as a society. The world has undergone rapid and profound changes that we are witness to more technological advancements in the past few decades than the combined history of the known world. Most of our graduates were born in or around 2005. So to illustrate this point, I asked an artificial intelligence about the technological advances since 2005. And in less than 20 seconds, our trusty AI listed 7 items in an organized list by invention date and with a description of each, including 1, smartphones, 2, social media platforms, 3, cloud computing, 4, big data and analytics, 5, smart home devices, 6, 5G and next generation networks, and 7, artificial intelligence. That's all since 2005. I know many of our students sitting in the audience today can't imagine their lives without those 7 things, and they didn't exist prior to your birth. The fact that I could simply ask an artificial intelligence to write my entire speech, I didn't, and it would have produced a draft within 30 seconds is simply amazing. Graduates, consider the amount of time you spend engaged with technology and devices on a daily basis. According to a report from Commencement Media, American teenagers aged 13 to 18 spend an average of 8 hours and 39 minutes per day using entertainment technologies, including smartphones, social media, gaming, and texting. Why is this important? Well, in an era where technology appears to be surpassing human capability, I urge you to remember that you are human beings, not robots. Never did I imagine uttering these words in a commencement speech. I will say them again. You are human beings, not robots. Now someday, I admit, someday, if robots take over the world, there could be a record of my saying this, and I might be in some serious trouble. Nevertheless, I digress. The questions I'm pondering now would never have crossed my mind at this time last year, but I do feel convicted to share a message with our graduates. As civilization stands at the precipice of an exciting yet daunting time, the graduating class of 2023 has the responsibility of guiding these advancements while preserving our humanity. You have a vital role in protecting future generations and fostering healthy living and meaningful interactions. I observe too many spending time on technology and social media rather than engaging with other people. Let us not lose sight of our humanity. When artificial intelligence can complete or at least assist us with our homework, our students know that that is very true. Virtual reality can deceive our senses, and social media becomes one primary means of communication. I look to you, the future leaders, to embrace this tremendous responsibility with caution, wisdom, and prudence. The adults in this room and my future grandchildren will look to you as the leaders of our collective future. As I stand here and deliver these words, I'm reminded of what my parents' warnings about personal computing devices and the internet when I graduated from high school. Honestly, I brushed them off, thinking they were old and didn't understand how the world was changing. However, it hasn't taken long for us to progress from dial-up modems to artificial intelligence. Listen, graduates, as someone who has held leadership positions since high school, I have learned that the most significant challenges rarely arise from a person's competency, but rather their inability to interact effectively and harmoniously with others. Most people that graduate possess the abilities and knowledge to complete the technical aspects of their work. What sets highly successful individuals apart is their ability to compromise, problem solve, and help bring people along to a successful end without alienating them. These qualities cannot be taught by technology. They are developed, honed, and perfected through practice and building relationships. In conclusion, I leave you with these final reflections. As society continues to change, let us always prioritize our humanity. Be kind to others. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Remember that intelligence is so much more than your final GPA or an IQ test. It includes your work ethic, morality, and your emotional intelligence. No one owes you anything. Remember that. So please don't act like you're owed in life. It will serve you well, and get used to that now. Hard work leads to mastery. Mastery leads to excellence. While technology can be wonderful, it cannot replace genuine human interaction. Finally, just take time to talk to people. Thank you for listening. I am thrilled for the start of your next chapter, and I implore you to remember, be a person, not a robot. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2023.
Thank you, Dr. Salah. Following tradition, the valedictorian represents the top academic student in the graduating class. This year at Lakeland, we are proud to have two students achieve this highest honor, Mahana Trinity Gallmeyer and Caitlin Emma Giannopoulos, both of whom will be addressing you today. First, I am proud to welcome to the podium co-valedictorian Mahana Trinity Gallmeyer. Mahana's achievements at Lakeland include valedictorian, summa cum laude, AP Scholar with Distinction, and Scholar Athlete. She is a member of the National Honor Society, Link Crew, the National Art Honor Society, and the Girls Varsity Ski Team, as well as holding positions as Secretary of the National Technical Honor Society and Vice President of Women in STEM. Further, Mahana earned the following honors: WXYZ Brightest and Best, Michigan Tech Presidential Scholarship, Michigan Tech Leading Scholar Award, and was the Optimist International Regional Essay Contest winner. She will be attending Michigan Technological University in the fall, where she plans to major in computer engineering. Mahana is the daughter of Robin and Cecilia Gallmeyer of White Lake. Ladies and gentlemen, Mahana Trinity Gallmeyer.
I would like to begin by thanking all of those that made this day possible. Thank you to the administration for your leadership and encouragement throughout these 4 years. To the support staff that kept the school running. To the teachers that constantly pushed us to grow as individuals. And to you, the parents and grandparents and siblings that supported and guided us through high school. And a special thank you to my family and friends that encouraged and motivated me over these past 4 years. And most importantly, to God for all of the blessings He has given me and the opportunity to stand before you. Exploration, the action of traveling in or through an unfamiliar area in order to learn about it. We are all about to embark on a new chapter in our lives, whether it is college, trade school, the military, the workforce, or a gap year. Once we exit these doors today, our opportunities grow exponentially, and we are called to explore the world around us. This is daunting, to leave our routines and sense of comfort when that is all we have known these past 4 years. We have traversed these halls for countless days, falling into a sense of familiarity as Lakeland High School became our comfort zone. But that all changes now. We have nothing perfectly planned for us, and it is finally our choice to decide what we do next and how hard we push ourselves. As we prepare to leave Lakeland, there are a few things I want us all to keep in mind. 1, get comfortable being uncomfortable. 2, life isn't just about goals, but the moments in between them. And 3, remember to focus on who you are and who you are becoming, not just your career or job. No one likes to be uncomfortable, but it is being uncomfortable that leads to change and growth. We must maintain a mindset of facing pain or discomfort in order to grow as an individual. Personally, I'm heading all the way up north to Michigan Tech, 10 hours away from here and 2 hours away from the nearest actual city. It will be very uncomfortable and hard to get used to. Some days, I'm going to wish I could get an iced chocolate almond milk shaken espresso from Starbucks, but I can't because there are none in Houghton. Or I'm going to want to go shopping for retail therapy, but I can't because the main store is Walmart. But I'm sacrificing comforts like these in the belief that I will gain the knowledge to become a great engineer and encounter many new experiences. The future holds a lot of unknowns, so we will have to face discomfort to find our place in this vast world. But if we persevere and push beyond our comfort zone, the reward will be great. We will be free of any restraints that we have put on ourselves, and we will be able to create our own path through life. Next, when we are finding our place in the world, we are going to have lots of goals. And goals are amazing. They push us to keep growing and to never settle for less than what we deserve. But a lot of times, we tend to get swept up in them, letting them dictate our lives. Even as I stand before you today, I almost lost myself in the goal of being valedictorian. I gave up a lot of opportunities with friends and family to achieve this dream. And I know many of us face similar scenarios, whether it is with sports and constantly practicing to become a better athlete, or taking those extra shifts to earn more money. So often, we let our goals lead our lives, and we forget to enjoy the time in between achieving them. It is important to stop and appreciate those around us that have supported us, as it is the small moments with these select people that is the basis of our happiness. It is the coffee runs with friends, or tailgate parties before football games, or the late-night FaceTime calls that make memories. Our time in high school has been a collection of these simple moments. These past 4 years can act as an example for the rest of our lives, allowing us to reflect on if we let our goals consume us and to make the changes necessary before we face the real world. Finally, the world is going to throw a lot of demands at us to act a certain way or become a certain type of person. But we have to remember that we have the final say in deciding who we are. We do not let our career or our job become our sole purpose in life. Because in the end, no one will remember you for your job. They're going to remember you for your personality and the experiences they had with you. High school has been a test run, allowing us to see how well we are able to balance our lives and not be defined by one single aspect. Maybe we felt stuck in those stereotypes of being a nerd, a jock, a slacker, or something else. But in reality, we are all so much more complex and three-dimensional. Let's take advantage of this transition window as we get ready to embark on the next chapter of our lives as a time to reflect and improve how we show the world who we really are. So as you leave today, remember that we are about to go out and explore a vast world. Things will be uncomfortable, but that is the only way we truly grow. We are going to have goals and aspirations, but we need to enjoy the journey there, or else it is meaningless. We must focus on finding and defining who we are in this hectic world to ensure that we are not labeled as a single aspect or idea. The world has so much for us to experience and explore, so don't wait for tomorrow. Begin today.
Thank you, Mahana. Now I am proud to welcome to the podium co-valedictorian Caitlin Emma Giannopoulos. Caitlin's achievements at Lakeland include valedictorian, summa cum laude, and AP Scholar with distinction. In addition to serving as class treasurer, Caitlin is a member of the National Honor Society, Link Crew, and co-founder of the Lakeland Letter. Caitlin is a recipient of the Alma College Presidential Scholarship. She will be attending Alma College in the fall, where she plans to major in science on a pre-medicine track. Caitlin is the daughter of Rachel and Jason Giannopoulos of Highland. Ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin Emma Giannopoulos.
Change is a scary thing. For years, the fear of change has paralyzed me. For a long time, and still sometimes today, I get sent into a spiral at the thought of my everyday life changing into something new. Today, as we stand ready to graduate, we have so many avenues we can take, so much change waiting to happen. To begin, I moved here in the beginning of 4th grade from South Lyon, and honestly, it was the easiest adjustment of my life. As young kids, we're so resilient to change, so flexible to what life throws at us. My whole life got flipped around, yet I loved it. I made friends and found a social group. I made connections with teachers and my neighbors. What bewilders me, though, is how different change is taken now that we are older. What was an easy adjustment for me 8 years ago is now something that would send me spiraling. It seems that things are taken so much more seriously now that we are older and more aware of the weight of life. As young kids, decisions were easy. They were yes and no, black and white, whichever option we were feeling at the time. I'd spontaneously wear princess dresses in public or paint my room pink and purple because what little girl didn't love Dora? Little did my 4th grade self know how hard it would be to make a college decision or to try and pick my future career. Fast forward almost a decade and here we are, and we're expected to know what we want to become. At the ripe age of 18 years old, we are told to determine what we want to do for the rest of our lives. We're told to decide who we want to become and who we want to be. If you're anything like me, this thought sends you for a loop. I personally have thought of over 100 different career paths and changed my future major at least 10 times. It's ridiculous how many times a day I second guess myself and where I'm heading with my life. There's just so much change to account for, so many what-ifs to think of. So, as we approach this time in our lives where we have thousands of decisions to make, I present that we have 2 options. 1, we can stay in the comfort of our everyday routines. We can stay in the safety of what we know in life. It is normal to feel comfortable in the known. It's easy to live the same life that we always have, to do what we know how to do. And this is completely okay. But the second option that we have is so much better. Our second option is to take a page out of our younger selves' books. As we close our childhood and enter into adulthood, we can take that carefree and opportunity-seeking attitude that we had as kids and implement it into our everyday lives. With this youthful perspective, we can take opportunities. We can make changes on a whim. We are only ever getting older, and at this age, we are so full of life. So now is the time to impulsively pick something because in the moment we liked it, or to make sudden changes to our everyday lives. It is when we make these changes that we start to see growth. And growth, my friends, is a beautiful thing. So now is the time to spontaneously make decisions, to take those opportunities. We have the world at our fingertips, and we can do absolutely anything we want in life. So why stay in the known? Why keep the same routine when there is so much more? Life is supposed to be beautiful. Life is supposed to be fun. So go make those beautiful changes. And sometimes they will become beautiful mistakes. But that's the beauty of life, that those mistakes are okay and they are how we learn. So, for some of us, this is where our story ends. And although we say we will make plans, that we'll see each other in the future, life gets busy. Some of us, these are our last memories together. So if there's one thing that I leave with us today, let it be this. I'm begging all of you, please go live like you're 7 again. Go make those impulsive decisions. Go take those opportunities. And please, all of us, let's go live our lives to its fullest potential.
Thank you, Caitlin. The salutatorian represents the second highest achieving academic ranking in the graduating class. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the stage Lakeland class of 2023's salutatorian, Lucille Amelia Martin, to the podium. Lucille's achievements at Lakeland include salutatorian, summa cum laude, an AP Scholar with distinction. She was also the English Department Key Award recipient. In addition, she is a member of the Garden Club, Secretary of Diverse Students United, co-founder of the Lakeland Letter, Secretary of the National Honor Society, and Vice President of the National Art Honor Society. She is also a 4-year varsity cheerleader. Moreover, Lucille is a recipient of the Darlene Forrest Award from New York University and had her work published in West Fourth magazine with her involvements there. She will be attending the University of Michigan in the fall, where she plans to double major in architecture and environmental science. Lucille is the daughter of Andrea and Brian Martin of White Lake. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucille Amelia Martin.
What do you want to be when you grow up? The first time that we may have all heard this question was when we first went to school. In kindergarten, I wanted to be a pop star when I grew up, but clearly that didn't happen for me. I knew kids who wanted to be movie stars, astronauts, and pro athletes. Everyone knew exactly what they wanted to be, and though our answers were pretty unrealistic, it was all right. Since then, it has seemed that time has passed quicker than I could have ever imagined, and yet still, that question has always remained. Recently, over this past year especially, this question has been asked far too many times of all of us, if you ask me. At any family gathering, at any meeting of friends, at any time, the question turned to college, majors, careers, and the inevitable future that seemed to be approaching much too fast. Now, instead of wanting to be famous, it seemed like everyone's answers were vague. I would shrug, say, "I'm not sure," and try to avoid the topic like the plague. I spent my entire senior year in a mix of worry and joy, nervous about the future and still trying to have that last hurrah. I used the phrase, "I'm only 17, more times than I can count, trying to ignore commitment to any one future and just live in the moment. Everyone seemed unsatisfied with this answer. Everyone seemed to always expect us to have it all figured out, to be able to tell you our 10-year plan in exact concrete detail. But in my opinion, now is not the time to have it all figured out. Now is the time to mess up, take the wrong path, go in a circle, and start over. Now is the time to make mistakes, to change your mind more times than you can count. Now is the time to meet new people, create paths, form friendships, and hold on to old ones. Some of the people in this crowd I have known for 13 years. We watched each other grow up, go from the carefree joy of elementary school, to the awkward phases and the weird interests of middle school, to all of the moments in high school that we are remembering and celebrating today. Some of you I met this year and have had the most fun laughing with you and making new memories throughout this countdown to our last day of high school. I've seen all of us grow, have seen all of us fight, I've seen the drama unfold every day, the best friends be made, and all of the stories that we will one day reminisce on as the good old days happen in real time, like that time last week where we all got lunch detention for upholding Lakeland tradition. Thank you for that, by the way. Throughout all of those memories, we were making mistakes and growing into the better versions of ourselves that we now know. It's a scary idea, but this next year is our opportunity to wipe that slate clean. Bring with us the memories we want, and look forward to making more through the mistakes and the triumphs and the highs and the lows that we are going to experience in the next phase of life. So the next time that someone shakes their head at you and sighs that you don't have it all figured out, remind them that you're just a kid and that there's nothing better to be than someone who has their whole life ahead of them. Thank you, and happy graduation.
Thank you, Lucy. I would now like to present the Lakeland Choir under the direction of Dr. Jeffrey Nelson, who will be performing the Lakeland High School alma mater. The alma mater was written in 1976 by graduate Keith Murphy and is printed on the inside back cover of your program. The original handwritten copy is displayed in the atrium. Thank you, Dr. Nelson and Lakeland Choir. And without further ado, I am pleased to welcome to the podium the final student speaker and class of 2023, President Everett Ross. Following 48 years of tradition at Lakeland High School, the senior class president addresses the senior class one last time in the class farewell. Everett's achievements here at Lakeland are many and include summa cum laude, AP Scholar, Student Key Award, and Emerging Leader DECA Scholar Athlete. His involvements at Lakeland include being a member of the National Honor Society, Link Crew, and DECA, as well as football and wrestling. Everett will be attending Grand Canyon University in the fall, where he will study government with an emphasis in legal studies. Everett is the son of Tara and Jeff Ross of White Lake. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Everett Ross.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice. But most people call me Prez Ross, Mr. President, or El Presidente. Good afternoon, faculty, parents, and peers. My name is Everett Ross, and I have had the honor and privilege of serving as your class president for the last 4 years. Now, one thing I will 100% miss about this title are the nicknames. Over the years, I have had nicknames far and few between, but I can confidently say that Prez Ross or Mr. President has been the best of them. So thank you, class, for humoring me day in and day out. Being as it's been 4 whole years, I have pictured myself standing on this stage for quite some time, delivering this speech. I had 4 whole years to write this speech, and like most things in high school, I did it last minute. Anyways, I'm up here attempting to both entertain and inspire you guys in about quick 4 minutes. Before I really begin, though, I need to take a moment to thank the phenomenal educators I've had in HVS. I'm so beyond grateful for every single one of them who pushed me in the class, and I can't even begin to name every single one, but I want to thank each and every one of you. I'm thankful for my coaches over the years, Coach Calhoun and Coach Tippin. I thank you guys for pushing me physically on the mat and on the field. And the great principals I had each year. It is rare that the timing of our pivotal moment in life aligns with that of our principal, Dr. Knutson. So I would like to take a moment to appreciate the hard work and dedication that Dr. Knutson put into our school to make it a better place for us to learn. From cleaning up the garbage in the cafeteria to attending long meetings regarding our education. For her excellency and decades in education, she deserves a round of applause. I wish her the best of luck in her retirement. And as she reflects on her career, we too must reflect upon our education. More importantly, the time we spent here, not just what we learned, but our experiences we had. Reflection requires the acknowledgement of time and its strange nature. We try to quantify time. We can waste time, we can save time, we can even spend time. We develop skills to better manage our time, but it all passes the same. Pink Floyd said it best. Ticking away the moments that make up the dull day. High school, often boring, we fritter and waste the hours in an offhand way. Whether it be TikTok or, for me, Instagram Reels, we have been gifted the greatest time waster to ever exist, social media. More specifically, the 15-second dopamine rush of Reels, TikTok, and even YouTube Shorts, if you're like that, rotting our attention spans and wasting our time. When we were younger, we would be kicking around on a piece of ground in our hometown, waiting for someone or something to show you the way. But now, I don't have to be bored. I can just scroll endlessly, reel after reel, ignoring my obligations and responsibilities that need to get done. But we're young, right? And life is long, and there's time to kill today. And one day you find 4 years have gone behind you, and you're graduating high school, trying to write a graduation speech. It is both extremely exciting and dangerous, the age we live in. Technology is great, but it steals so much of our time. There are countless times I can recall moments where I should have been present and off my phone. But just one more car crash reel. Oh, look at this little monkey. Why is he dressed like that? I, like many of you, spent most of my days on my phone. Do I regret that? Kinda, but it's such an easy thing to do. How can we be chasing our dreams if we are too occupied by our screens? You run and you run to catch up with the sun, but it's sinking, racing around to come up behind you again. So monotonous time becomes, especially when you're in high school. We dread the same things every day, waking up, going to school, doing homework. It all blends together and flies by. Hanging on in quiet desperation is the Lakeland way. We hang on for the weekend, for spring break, for summer. Honestly, we hang on to anything and everything. As I sat writing this speech, I got distracted for 10 minutes scrolling through Instagram Reels. In a culture where dopamine and pleasure are just a few taps away, it becomes increasingly easy to avoid hard tasks and things that make us uncomfortable. Every day is growing shorter, and every single one of us never seems to find the time. Clearly, this is a generational problem, and in a graduation speech, I can't offer a solution to the daunting passing of time. But I will say reflect. take each moment as it is. I tried my hardest to do as much as I could in these last 4 years, and I'm happy with what I have done. So as we turn our tassels and look towards tomorrow, be optimistic about who you are and where you're going. Remember, God loves you. This country is a gift, and we have the power to change it. I wouldn't be giving a speech right now if I didn't quote The Office. So, as Michael Scott said, let your hats fly as high as your dreams, and don't waste your time.
Thank you, Everett. So first, I would like to, it's time for the principal's farewell. So the first thing I want to do is talk about what matters the most, and that's all of you, the class of 2023. While each of you has had your own unique and individual experience during your time here at Lakeland, we are here today to celebrate this group right here. Because if you come away from anything today, it's that we are Lakeland, and all of us. On the great seal of our country's flag reads a Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, which means from many, one. You have all come together here at Lakeland High School from many different places and experiences, but now you will forever be a Lakeland Eagle and a part of the Lakeland family. A school is only a building. It's brick and mortar. Until people, you, all of us, come here and come together and make it what it truly is. So many of the speeches today have talked about the importance of relationships and people, and I can't emphasize that enough. So important. And, you know, it's everybody here who has played a role in who we are and who we have become as a school. So, please stand, students. If you have been involved in any kind of specialized academic program, either at Lakeland or a satellite campus, whether you're an ACE student, whether you're an AP student, advanced placement, you took an AP course, you were in Grad Alliance, you were at OSTC, you were a dual enrollment student, you were in the Huron Valley Virtual Academy. If that applies to any of you, please stand at this time. Please be seated. Thank you. Now, please stand, students, if you have been involved in any kind of school club, Lakeland High School group, or any kind of activity here at Lakeland High School. Stand up. All right. I have a couple more. Please stand if you have been involved in any of our art or performing arts programs, marching band, choir, any of the art classes, National Art Honor, all of that stuff. Stand up. Thank you. Please stand if you have been involved in any of our athletics programs here at Lakeland High School on any level, whether freshman, JV, or varsity. Stand at this time. As you can see, there is no doubt that we are Lakeland, and we are stronger together. From the first time you visited Lakeland as 8th graders, it was March of 2019, I remember it well. It was a year before that March. Hold on, I'm getting there. You became a part of Lakeland High School. That's when all of you came here for our 8th grade visit, and we had, the expo that evening. Once an Eagle, always an Eagle, that started your journey. The class of 2023, you're always going to hold a special place in my heart. Like all of you, and you've heard a couple of references to it today, my time here has come to an end, and I couldn't be more proud to be leaving with the class of 2023. It's ending a 30-plus year journey as a public educator, and to have that with these diverse and talented and stellar group of students, a principal could not ask for anything more. Your smiles, your energy, and your encouragement feed so much life into the lives you have touched here. Not only mine, but that of our staff. And at this time, would all of the Lakeland staff members in the room please rise and stand and be recognized? And they're here, but they're also, in other places as well, but it truly is we have a group mentality here at Lakeland High School. Once an eagle, always an eagle. We are all part of that. There's no task or no job that is too small for anybody here. And I so appreciate all of our staff who just give their all every day for these kids. So thank you, class of 2023, for all of that. The high school experience has been part of your journey, and today you attain the reward for all of your hard work and perseverance as you're going to have your name read and announced, and you're going to walk across this stage and receive your diploma. Some of you are headed to the military. Some of you are headed to trade school, some to college or university. Some might still be thinking about your next steps, and that is okay. Like Lucy said, you're 17, you're 18 years old. Nobody expects you to want to know your whole life mapped out for the next 50 years, because it is an adventure, and it is a fun adventure, and I know that you're going to have a wonderful ride moving forward. There are so many experiences and opportunities that await you. And although you may have had some of your best days here at Lakeland High School, so many of your best days are still to come. Lindsay Krause writes that our very best days are not the obvious ones, not what you would think about. Instead, she says, our best days are ones that are centered around ordinary moments. That time you had a deep conversation with a friend, the time you helped an elderly woman after you noticed her having trouble getting her groceries into her car down at Meijer down the street or at Kroger down the road, the time you and your family spent the week in nature, camping and fishing and relaxing. Think about, reflect on, and find the beauty in everyday life. Because when we reflect on our lives, we learn to be honest with ourselves. We learn to be humble, and we learn to be empathetic to others. Honesty, humility, and empathy. And it is when we are able to do this that we open the doors and the path to true happiness. So, as you leave here as graduates of Lakeland High School, I challenge you to live your best life every day. Embrace the beauty, embrace the challenge. Go out in the world, explore, discover, and cherish every moment as you begin this new journey. I will be joining you. Congratulations, class of 2023. As principal of Lakeland High School, it is my honor to state publicly that I certify that each member of the class of 2023 whose name is about to be announced has met all of the graduation requirements established by the Huron Valley Schools Board of Education and the state of Michigan. Reading the names signifies that you have received your diploma and are a graduate of the Huron Valley Schools and Lakeland High School. Mr. Perry and Mr. Rolando will now announce the names, and members of the Board of Education will present the diplomas.
Mahana Trinity Gallmeyer. Caitlin Emma Giannopoulos. Lucille Amelia Martin. Everett Worth Ross. Kyle Logan Kraus. Lauren Elizabeth Herring. Ainsley Lynn Altermat. Jacob Ronald Ensorge. Emma Eileen Arnold. Allie Rose Atkinson. Ava Elizabeth Barakowski. Kylie Elizabeth Basmajian. Isabel Eve Baudino. Natalie Renee Beard. Lauren Rose Beejan. Nathaniel James Beamlander. Gage Thomas Bell. Mitchell Forrest Beller. Adriana Elizabeth Bennett. Emma Reese Benton. McCoy Aiden Bajoli. Hannah Marie Bohm. Andrea Lee Bourgeois. Drew Douglas Bragg.
Tyler Stephen Brock. Kira Lace Brower. Matthew Alexander Brown. Kara Elizabeth Bubak. Joseph Brian Bunting. Hannah Renee Berdini. Sydney Ann Butler. Alexis Budum. Daniel Francesco Cadez III. Joshua Ryan Kales. Caden David Calhoun. Enzo Anthony Carone. Cameron Lynn Carr. Serena Lynn Castillo. Allison Louise Christmas. Cole Robert Cleveland. Ella Marie Clevenger. Ryan Zait Kobaluna. Marcus Allen Cole.
Michael Benjamin Colwell. Alyssa Ann Cooper. Corey James Cotter. Kara Lillian Cottingham. Brianna Marie Kramer. Sarah Reed Crawford. Chase Stephen Curry. Chase Ryan Daly. Jacob Travis Daniels. Olivia Nicole Doherty. Megan Claire Davenport. Adriana Catalina David. Brett John Davis. Caden Russell Davis. Allison Lorraine Day. Alicia Louise Dell. Nora Lynn Dell.
Abigail K. Deloney. Connor Daniel Demko. Giovanni DeJoni. Dylan John Drewlard. Colin Ray Luis Dudley. Emily Deborah Earl. Caden Ray Eastwood. Lawrence Michael Ebel. Delaney Lee Emery. Krista May Farr. Benjamin David Farmer. Emma May Feather. Hillary Ann Fletcher. Zoe Marie Forbes. Kenton Michael Foster. Andrew James Ferlat. Harrison Frederick Fuga. Skylar James Fusen.
Giselle Gamez. Jolie L. Jeremet. Sayla Gervais. Caden William Glenny. Jacqueline Emily Gomerick. Braxton John Godin. Adam Scott Goldman. Christian Ivan Gonzalez Ponce. Tyler Rickton Grebzinski. Joshua Nichols Gregory. Mason William Gregory. Alexis Cecilia Marie Gunther. Emily Elizabeth Geilis. Elena Marie Hale. Riley Eileen Hamilton. Braden Daniel Hathaway.
Sophia Noel Henry. Tabitha Rose Hentis. Matthew David Herman. Hannah Sophia Grace Jelmstead. Anthony Paul Hoffman. Caitlin Elizabeth Hotra. Natalie Lynn Hoyer. Kennedy Allison Hudson. Ryan Scott Hyatt. Shane Thomas Hyatt. Logan Victory Iavelli. Hannah Sarah Iser. Jaden Zane Ivory. Bryn Ann Johnson. Jaden Marie Johnson. Chelsea Ann Klein. Madeline Emily Casper. Brenna Maureen Kark. Caleb Scott Kish. Ryan Richard Keentz. Vela Marie Kammer. Rasul Salih Madi Khavaja.
Carly Ann Kowalski. Paulina Nicole Klock. Jordan John Lancaster. Connor Frederick Lance. Lindsay Esther Lamphere. David Alden Laura. Jacob Michael Law. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Brandon Theodore Langers. Josiah Alexander Leon Marte. Arthur James Lewis. Eric Joseph Lewis. Robert Edward Lewis. Bradley Joseph Liddy. Erica Victoria Lindberg. Madison Marie Lindquist. Megan Haley Lomas.
G. John Luca. Shelby Marie Lucas. Gabriella Rose Lukai. Reagan Grace Lukes. Dakota Lynn Lux. Molly Marie Lynch. John Robert McLaughlin IV. Michael Joseph Mahaney III. Mario Frank Manzardo. Peyton Lynn Marino. Braden Deck Marlin. Amelia Margaret Mason. Campbell Estelle Mason. Sherrod Dupree May Jr. Emerson Reese McBride. Anna Lynn McDonald. Mia Marie McDonald.
Taya Jure McKinsey. Sophie Louise Mensch. Thomas Stephen Mergluski. Tristan Jens Moschel. Joseph James Miller. Ariane Miru Kai. Owen Michael Mladenoff. Melena Rose Moore. Ace Andrew Morris. William Richard Movitz. Brianna Rose Mullins. Camille Jinshuing Hong Murdoch. Caitlin Quinn Myers. Cadence Grace Niviala. Haley Jane Norton. Lyra Eve Novello. Anya Helen Nesty. Caden Malcolm O'Neill. Colin James Oldfield.
Michael William Petachowski. Amy Eva Palian. Sophia Nadia Paley. Alexis Eve Pasco L. Christopher Joseph Payne. Elizabeth Ryan Perkins. Stasha Karishma Pegula. James Michael Pilchowski. Annie Elizabeth Pitcock. Jared Brian Platt. Adam Michael Pluschek. Jacob Alexander Pacamara. Tyler Ian Ponitz. Joshua William Powers. Asia Ramirez. Sarah Jean Ramos. Ryan Thomas Rang. Zuli Ruby Reyes. Michael Joseph Rybakowski.
Ezekiel Ryan Riedel. Cannon Kenneth Repin. Annika Santina Ross. Trey Christopher Rowley. Gabriel Lynn Runyon. Everett Joseph Sanders. Corey William Sanderson. Cole David Solosky. Jasmine Marie Scherer. Jessica Lynn Scherer. Alex William Schnar. Gabriel Wallace Schneider. Raylan Ann Schroeder.
Samantha Jane Schwartz. Mason Mark Lloyd Shaw. Aiden Joseph Shefferly. Autumn Marie Sheriff. Anastasia Marie Schaup. Noah Christopher Sievers. Janet Silva Pena. Lacey Ivahana Scrumbelis. Christy Lynn Scoopin. Kate Lily Slating. Jason Gerald Slicker. Landon James Smith. Quentin Victor Smith. Samantha Charlotte Smith. Serena Marie Smith. Edgar Levon Senection. Ryan William Snowdy. Aiden James Staup. Wyatt Gregory Steck. Anna Tarasevna Stepchuk. Alec Lee Sturgiadis. Xavier Sebastian William Sudbury. Leah Michelle Simons. Lizette Abi Tangwaka. Tegan William Thorell. Elliot Jonathan Tobias. Cooper Douglas Trout.
Addison Grace Trzynski. Andrew Kevin Turnquist. Nathan Paul Turnquist. Gretchen Lee Ulrich. Seema Usen. Maya Cecilia Venko. Santiago Vargas Hernandez. Brandon Robert Verbick. Avery Marie Vogel. Regan Kane Voorhees. Gina Vucini. Jacob Matthew Walker. Leah Jean Walker. Olivia Lacey Walker. Ava Lee Walsh. Jeffrey Richard Tyler Wheeler. Eli Matthew Whipple.
Shay Christopher Whitney. Brooke Nicole Wiwara. Jamont Dion Williams. Ella Lee Williamson. Owen Carl Willis. Alana McLean Wozniak. Ella Jane Wright. Morgan Grace Wright. Michael Scott Yackley. Zoe Claire Young. Brady Edward Yunker. Julian Delore Youssef. Anna Elizabeth Marie Zaremba. Connor Mitchell Zimmerman. Seth Allen Zimmerman. Garrett Patrick Zuber. Zachary Ryan Zuber. Rachel Grace Zurich.
So we still have some folks finishing up their photos. A couple of words I would like to say. In just a moment, we're going to make the graduation official with the moving of the tassel as soon as we get everybody back to their seats. After the moving of the tassel, the students will recess from the stage. Those of us on the stage first, led by the students here, will recess, followed by the folks up here. Then the students will recess out. They're going to be going to the Aux Gym, where then they will pick up their packets that actually have their diploma. They have the diploma cases right now. Their packets have the diploma and all the other additional information that you need for how to access class photos, all the photos from today, etc. Families, you are free, once graduation concludes today, to make full use of the campus, including the stage for photos. We also have 2 mini stages set up for you as well. There's one in the atrium, and the second one is, I believe, by the it's by these front doors over here by Pools and Fitness. So you can feel free to use those. Finally, for those who plan on attending the senior all-night party tonight, you need to be back at Lakeland by 7:30 to catch the bus. Everybody will park here. You'll park in the student parking lot and then catch the bus over to the senior all-night party. So, are we all back and seated now? All righty. So first, I will say this before I bring these folks up. It is my honor and duty as your principal to announce and confirm that you are official graduates of Lakeland High School, our newest alumni, once we do this turning of the tassel. And I'd like you to always remember, we are Lakeland, and once an eagle, always an eagle. Please welcome back to the front our class officers, valedictorians, and salutatorian. As they appear in front of you one last time as your leaders to lead you in the moving of the tassel. At this time, graduates, stand up. Traditionally, it is symbolic and fitting for all graduates to participate in this final act, moving your tassel from the right to the left, which signifies your graduation. Graduates on stage, please grasp your tassel with your right hand. All of you in the audience here, students, grab your tassel with your right hand and you're going to follow their lead here. When I count to 3, you're going to move your tassel from the right to the left side of your cap and make it official as 2023 graduating class of Lakeland High School. Are you ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, class of 2023.